Hi, this is Sean Garrison, online editor of Cordell Cordell and DadsDivorce. Today we are joined by Associate Attorney Diana Bishara, who works in Cordell Cordell's Mount Laurel, New Jersey office. She will be discussing the recent case that is playing out in New Jersey regarding 21-year-old Caitlyn Ricci. Miss Ricci is involved in a lawsuit against her parents, Michael Ricci and Maura McGarvey, who in October were ordered to pay $16,000 of their daughter's $26,000 annual college expenses. The case has sparked a debate over whether or not parents should be obligated to pay for their children's college education, and if so, how much they should be obligated to provide. It has also shed some light on a curious New Jersey law which treats divorced parents differently from intact families when determining whether or not they have to pay for their child's college education. Hello, Deanna.
Hello.
Deanna, in this case, a New Jersey judge cited Newburgh versus Arrigo, a case in which the Supreme Court ruled that divorced parents are obligated to pay for their children's college education. But if Michael Ricci and Maura McGarvey were still married, they would be off the hook. So what is the justification for the differentiation between divorced parents and intact families?
So the justification usually is when parents are divorced, it leads from disengagement from at least one of the parents and the kids' lives. So parents who would normally pay for their college education for their children, normally since they don't exactly speak to their children or they don't have a good relationship, more frequently don't. So the law basically is making sure that parents pay for their children no matter what their relationship is, and so that children can have the same level of education and support whether they're an intact family or a divorced family.
I know these laws vary by state, but nationally, is this kind of thing typical, or is this more specific to New Jersey?
It's actually not very typical. It's about 1/3 of the states have that law, and each state kind of has its own figures or different things that they want to do with it. But about 1/3 of the states do force parents to pay for their, or contribute at least to parents' education. But some courts do it based on a certain age. And other courts, such as Hawaii, actually are liberal. As long as the kids are in school, it doesn't matter what age it is, the parent has to contribute. And sometimes the kids are 30 in school and the parents still have to contribute. Here in New Jersey, we do it on a case-by-case basis, and we actually do use the Newburgh case.
Yeah, absolutely. On the surface, it makes sense for parents to invest in their children's college education. But can you explain why a law like this is potentially problematic?
The problem with this law is it's not clear-cut. There's no sort of age for emancipation. Here in New Jersey, as long as the child is not working full-time and is enrolled in college, they're not technically emancipated. And we actually have a case in 2005 called Berg versus Berg, where the court found that because the child was 23, although she graduated from college, she decided to go and pursue a PhD. The court found that she wasn't emancipated because she continued to go to school. So we have kind of a problem here where a child like Caitlyn Ricci now doesn't have a good relationship with her parents and decides she's going to go to one of the most expensive schools, probably dorm, maybe stay in school for 5 or 6 years. And at that point, the parent doesn't get to make the decision of where the child goes to school, how much they want to contribute. And if they want their children to start working like children who are in intact families and have to support themselves or take out school loans, the parent is sort of forced to contribute at this point.
Definitely. This case has sparked a debate over the constitutionality of treating divorced parents differently, and 2 New Jersey lawmakers are considering legislation that would address that issue. What do you think the chances are of these laws gaining traction and possibly passing?
I have read about it, and I know the parents of Caitlyn Ricci actually did meet with these lawmakers, and they're trying to push it forward, and I do think that it actually has possibility of passing. Just because divorced parents are divorced doesn't mean that they shouldn't be treated the same as intact families. Divorced parents actually contribute more to the children's lifestyle because one parent is always forced to pay child support, and they're kind of taking that one income that used to support one household and trying to make it support 2, whether they're paying alimony or they're paying child support or both.
Thank you, Deanna. We enjoyed speaking with you here at DadsDivorce Live. That was Diana Bishara, Associate Attorney at Cordell Cordell's Mount Laurel, New Jersey office. To read more about the lawsuit between Caitlyn Ricci and her parents Michael Ricci and Maura McGarvey, be sure to visit DadsDivorce.com. This has been Sean Garrison, online editor of Cordell Cordell and Dad's Divorce.